now come to the meat of the matter here today, which is the presentation of the communique. And we will have the privilege to have this presentation done by Dr. Oke Ikechukwu, Executive Director, Specs Academy. Now, as Emeka noted before, this presentation will be done both in English and in Igbo. Dr. Oke, you can now have the floor and make the presentation of the communique. Yeah.
Okay. Mazi ekene mgendebani ekene unu. Unu na anu.
Very loud and clear, sir.
Okay, Dalun. Afambo Oke Ikechukwu. I welcome all of you. My task is to read out the communique arising from the meeting, and here it goes. Communique of the 2020 Igbo Conference titled Ohanaeze, Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow. Following a two-day virtual conference involving major Igbo stakeholders at home and in the diaspora, held respectively on 20th September 2020 and 4th October 2020, Ndi Igbo all over the world through that medium deliberated, resolved, and hereby state and affirm as follows. Number one, that the conference provided an opportunity for Ndi Igbo to discuss issues affecting their well-being and proffer solutions on how they can thrive and actualize their potentials as a people. That the current Ohanaeze leadership, its affiliated organizations, and various Igbo platforms which took part in the conference be commended for their commitment, frank contributions, and continued comments after the event. That strategic commitment and sustained efforts be made to promote Igbo unity and interactive value creation through women and youth inclusion in order to mainstream gender equity and enhance Ohanaeze's cross-generational appeal. That a strategic plan for Ohanaeze's future engagements be articulated, action points itemized, and specific problems addressed exhaustively. That the tension in the country today is traceable to the structural imbalance of the federation, political marginalization, social and economic injustice, and stifling insecurity. That a sustainable future for Ndi Igbo must be based on the following three clear points. Number one, a clear understanding of the past. Number two, absorption and utilization of the lessons of the present. And finally, a well-articulated engagement template for the future. That the templates for youth involvement in Ohanaeze affairs going forward should include a mentoring process that will produce a credible replacement generation. That Ohanaeze structures at the levels, including town unions, should be made relevant and effective as instruments for the reality of Ohanaeze beyond the national. That modalities be put in place for effective funding of Ohanaeze's structures and activities. That the concept of Ala Igbo Development Sustainability Fund be properly articulated and urgent steps be taken for its establishment. That a sustainable future for Ndi Igbo must be based on three major pillars. Number one, a clear understanding of the past. 2, absorption of the lessons of the moment, absorption and application of the lessons of the present and the moment. And finally, a well-articulated engagement template for the future. That the templates for youth involvement in Ohanaeze affairs should include a mentoring process. That Ohanaeze structures at the state, local government and ward levels, including town unions, should be made relevant and effective. That modalities be put in place for effective funding of Ohanaeze structures and activities. That the concept of Alibo Sustainability Fund be properly articulated and urgent steps for its establishment and activation put in place within the shortest possible time. That the role of Ohanaeze as a socio-cultural organization and the demands of contemporary politics be managed with the necessary dexterity and group consensus. That Ndi should adhere to and promote the positive values that project and enhance the Igbo reputation for enterprise, dynamism, and community building. That Ohanaeze should continue to pressurize the Nigerian state to urgently address the mounting injustice, frustrations, and marginalization driving the demands for a fundamental review of the Nigerian Union. That the solution to our current national malaise and the strident calls for separatism is dialogue, fiscal federalism, and the restoration of a constitution that is truly a product of the people of Nigeria. Finally, that Ndi Igbo continue to affirm their belief in and commitment to joining hands with all ethnic nationalities in Nigeria to build a peaceful, just, united, and prosperous nation. We affirm the foregoing as our collective resolve in the conference and append our signatures and seals to this document as a communique arising from the conference. It is signed by Dr. Ohanaeze, Dr. Kalu Idika-Kalu, Dr. Ohanaeze OON, Dr. Kalu Idika-Kalu OFR, Senator Chris Anyanwu MFR, Dr. Okey Ikechukwu MNI, Honorable Dr. Chris Asoloka, Mazi Tochukwu Ezoke, Mazi Sam Ohuabunwa OFR, Engineer Sir Chris Okoye FNSCE, Professor Patu Tommy, Mr. Nnanna Anyimude, Architect Ferdinand Ago, Ambassador Omona Humphrey Ojako, Mr. Andy Wabali, MS Ezine Anyanwu, Mrs. Ifi Bozimo, Chief Emeka Diwe, Major General Obi Mahi retired, Dr. Nwachukwu Anakwenze, Professor Anthony Jofo, Lolo Kate Ezofo, Mr. C. Dal Uzo, Mrs. Ndidi Obioha, Vice Admiral Dele Ezoba retired, Senator Enyinia Abaribe, Right Honorable Chibudom Uche, Ambassador Joseph Keshi, OON, His Royal Highness Ambassador LOC Agubozu, OON, Chief Emmanuel Iwanyanwu, MFR, OFR, CFR, Mr. Emeku Gwojo, who is the conference host. And this represents the content and the premature of the proceedings of the Igbo conference of 20th October and 20th September and 4th October, respectively, as rendered in English. Back to you, Mazi. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. K. That was very wonderfully done. At some point, I felt like that was one of the best newscasting that we've listened in a very long while.
Welcome to Intermediate